Now to judicial matters. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to building a stronger, more accountable and technology-driven judiciary as he declared open the 2025 All Nigerian Judges Conference of the Superior Courts. Addressing judges and senior judicial officers, the president underscored the judiciary's historic role in safeguarding Nigeria's democracy, insisting that no society can thrive without a fearless, functional and integrity-driven justice system. We're now bringing a lawyer, Promise Adeniran, who joins us from Lagos for more on this story. Promise, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. We're wondering how significant President Tinubu's emphasis on integrity and strengthening the judiciary in Nigeria is. Promise?
For having me. Well, so I think it's actually very, very significant. And the reason is that it's coming at a time when there's a lot of mistrust in the judicial system. Lots of people are beginning to lose their trust. They feel like there's no integrity. So I think it's a good time for there to be a wake-up call. And the president is the perfect person to give that wake-up call.
How significant is it further then when the people, the masses, actually think that there's some sort of influence in the appointment of these judicial officers?
Well, so that I would say is very, very subjective. There is no proof to say that those people were actually, their selection was influenced. But I would say at the end of the day, let's have faith. You know, the president has given a call, and let's hope that every judge and everybody in the NJC will do what is right for the sake of, you know, the Nigerian system and a better society.
All right. So let's leave matters of trust aside. Let's talk about practical reforms now. What do you believe the judiciary has to do or must adopt to reduce cases of backlogs, which seems to be the major crisis facing the Nigerian judiciary? What must they do to reduce backlogs and improve justice delivery?
So for backlogs, I think there are a lot of reforms that need to come into play. And let me quickly state that it is one thing for us to say, you know, words are easily said, but then can we back them with action? So yes, reforms are good, but we must be able to execute them and implement those reforms. So I'll say point in case, we should be able to have like a triage system where we are able to group cases, you know, in according to how, permit me to use the word important, or how heavy, the kind of weight we're going to be attaching to those cases. And then we're able to put like timelines. Another thing we can do is make it very, very public. So let it be transparent. Let everybody be able to access a particular platform and see that, okay, this particular case has been started this time, it's been on for this long, and this is how long we hope it will take. Another thing is, I think the use of tech, the use of tech is going to really come in handy for us to have the speed. Because at the end of the day, justice cannot be said to have been done if it's not perceived to have been done. So if you delay justice for someone and the person has suffered for so long, I mean, it is justice delayed. We might say it's not justice denied, but the person at the receiving end might not see it as justice at the end of the day.
So, Promise, I'm very curious about the use of tech. How exactly, as a lawyer, can you tell us, since you're in the system, has technology and digitalization helped the judiciary? And how can the system take advantage of this?
So thank you for that question. I remember a while ago, especially for magistrate courts, whenever we had courts to file, you have to go to the registry and go through all of the printing of your papers, you know, taking it somewhere for stamping and then doing everything. However, what is obtainable right now is that you do everything online. So you upload it, somebody approves it for payment. Once you pay, somebody initials. So everything is online, and it has been, I will not say seamless, but it has improved the process to without any backing. I would say at least about 30% improvement, in my own opinion. Now, for us to further enjoy this, I think that it shouldn't just be the magistrate courts that this will be done. It should be done everywhere. And another thing is we should have maybe like small kiosks around in the courts, especially for people who do not have access to smartphones or who are not tech savvy, so that it doesn't seem like we are cutting them off, you know, from access to justice.
Well, Promise, Now, the situation or the concept that this brings to the fore is this, that if the Nigerian judicial system is only just adopting tech and digitalization now, this seems to be things that people from other sectors have adjusted to from 10 years ago. We've been, filing in documents digitally for over 10 years, maybe even 15. How is it that the judicial system is still relying on manifests, still relying on brick and mortar tangible, stationaries for law enforcement, for judicial matters? And also, what more has the judicial system been slipping on?
Well, so your first question, I think, is quite unfortunate because, like you said, almost every sector is currently tapping into the advantages that the tech has brought to us. And it's very unfortunate that it's only now that we are beginning to look at, we are embracing it and then looking at further embracing it than what we currently have. I would say one of the things that's the cause of this is our rigidity. A lot of us are not very, very flexible. We want to keep doing things the way we are used to doing them, and oftentimes that's not the case. We ought to always leave room for improvement and be fluid, so that we understand that the way we've done something before and that it's been working does not mean we cannot further improve the system. I mean, it can be better. So I would I think it's a wake-up call actually to everyone in the judicial system. Let's be fluid. Let's because, like I said, it's enough to make reforms, but are we going to accept them? Are we going to be fluid enough to allow these things, improve the process by which we do things? To your second question, aside tech, I think another thing we can do to help the justice system and is to ensure that everyone in your own area, do the right thing. Because at the end of the day, we cannot build people's trust in the judicial system if we don't, first of all, show integrity. I mean, in my opinion, I think integrity and trust, they go hand in hand. So we must be able to show from the little you can do, the little this person can do, the little that other person can do. You must be able to gradually show that, okay, there's integrity in the judicial system and that people can finally begin to trust the judicial system. Another thing is we need to also be very, very transparent and be willing to let people see this is how far we've come, this is how far we are going, these are things that we need to improve. And we should also be willing to accept feedback and see how, again, back to the initial point, how we can be fluid to adapt to changes as they come.
All right. Promise, thank you very much. That was an interesting conversation with you there. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.